Children, good morning all. Last session I completed chapter 14, transportation in plants and circulation in animals, and I gave a test from this portion also. Hope you have done well, children. Today I am going to start a new topic, nervous system. What does mean by nervous system is my question. You people all are familiar with this system, right? Without this system, we cannot respond to the environment, we cannot feel the smell, we cannot taste the food, and we cannot do anything without the system, right? So, the system which is involved in coordinating the all organisms functions simultaneously through a stimuli by impulse is called what? Nervous system. So, this nervous system are involving in the coordination of all organ system in our body, as well as it helps to respond to the stimuli which has taken place in the outside environment, right? Okay. So, like other system, nervous system has a function of coordination. See children, digestive system, it has only one function, digest the food. Respiratory system, it help for the respiration of gases. Circulation help for the circulation of food material. Like that, each organism have their own specific function. But all these specific functions are coordinated by a two essential system. One is nervous system, another one is endocrine system or chemical coordinating system, we can say. Okay, these two systems, nervous system through nerve impulse, endocrine system through hormones, regulate the functions of each and every organs of our body and keep the body in homeostatic condition. What is mean by homeostatic condition? When the body is in good condition, then the body is said to be homeostasis. That is, there won't be any diseases or any other complications are there in the body. So this when these things are happened, when all the organ system functions properly in the same manner, then the functions in our body are carrying out properly. When all the functions in our body carrying out properly, then our body is in good condition. Okay, so these are regulated by a nervous system through a nerve impulse. Okay, that's what the introduction given for the nervous system. Let's enter into the text, children. See, one of the characteristic features of all living organism is responding to a stimuli. So, what is the one of the main characteristic features for all living organism? Yes, respond to the stimuli. What is mean by stimulus? Stimulus refers to the changes in the environmental conditions that are detected by receptor present in the body. Relevant changes in the activities of organism to a particular stimuli are called reactions or response. Relevant changes in the activities of organism to a particular stimuli. Okay, there is a changes in the stimuli. There is a changes in the environment, and this is called what? Stimulus. When an organism respond to that particular stimuli, then that is called what? Reactions or responses. Living organisms serve their response to different kinds of stimuli like light, heat, cold, sound, smell, taste, touch, pressure, pain, or the force of gravity, etc. are called what? Various or different kinds of stimuli seen in the environment. For example, withdrawal of hand when we touch a hot object or closing the eyes when flashed with bright light. In this condition, heat or light is the stimulus to which the body shows its response. Thus, on receiving a stimulus, the body responds in a manner that is the most appropriate for its survival and functioning. Okay, children. See, there are two events discussed in this paragraph. One is withdrawal of hand when we touch a hot object. This is one event. Another one event, we are closing the eyes when flashed with a bright light. These are the two events. In these two events, there is a changes in the environment, right? So, according to that, our body is respond to that. So, when you touch a hot pan, immediately you are withdrawn the hand. Okay. Here, which is the stimuli? Heat is the stimuli. When you touch, the heat is entered into the or received by your receptors of the hand. So you feel it. So immediately withdraw the hands from that hot pan. So here the heat is the stimuli. Next one is what? We will close the eyes when we see the bright light. Okay, right? So here light is the stimuli. Closing the eyes is the response. So these were two events discussed as an example for stimuli and response. And next one, thus on receiving a stimulus, the body responds in a manner that is the most appropriate for its survival and functioning. So to provide the correct response to a stimulus, it is necessary that all the organs work together in a proper coordinated manner. Yes, children, to provide a correct response to a stimulus, it is necessary that all the organs work together in a proper coordinated manner. This working together of various organs in a systemic, controlled and efficient way to produce a proper response to various stimuli is called what? Coordination. Okay, this working together of various organs in a systematic and controlled and efficient way to produce a proper response to various stimuli is called what? Coordination. In animals, including human, the coordination between the various cells and organs is essential for their diverse activities to maintain a physiological balance called homeostasis. So what is homeostasis? In animal, including human, the coordination between the various cells and organs is essential for their diverse activities to maintain physiological balance called homeostasis. Okay, so in animals or a human being, there is a coordination between the cells and organs which are essential for the diverse activities to maintain a physiological balance, and this is called what? Homeostasis. In this unit we shall learn about one of the major regulatory system of nervous system and its control over the body activities. Okay, let's enter into the nervous system. The nervous system is made up of what? Nervous tissues. It is formed of three distinct components, namely neurons, neuroglia and nerve cell. It is very essential. See, nervous system is made up of nervous tissue. What are the, how many types of nervous tissues are there? There are three distinct nervous tissues are there, or components are there, namely one is neuron, second one is neuroglia and the third one is what? Nerve fibers. And these three components are involved in the nervous tissues, which is made a nervous system. Okay, let's see about neuron or nerve. You know very well about the structure of neuron, children. A neuron or nerve cell is the structural and functional unit of the nervous system. Which is the structural and functional unit of the nervous system? A neuron or nerve cell is called what? Structural and functional unit of the nervous system. It is the longest cell of the human body with a length of over 100 μm in length. Okay, so which is the longest cell in the human body is nerve cell or neuron. It is, these cells are highly specialized to detect, receive and transmit different kinds of stimuli. The function of neuron is what? Detect, receive and transmit different kinds of stimuli. Information is conducted through neurons in the form of electrical impulses from one part of the body to another. Okay, information is conducted through neurons in the form of electrical impulses from one part of the body to the another part. Next one is neuroglia. Neuroglia are also called as what? Glial cells. They are non-exciting supporting cell of the nervous system. They do not initiate or conduct nerve impulse. Neuroglia cells, this is otherwise called as glial cells. These cells are not excited when it gets stimuli. Okay, that is, it is not respond to the stimuli. They are not, that's what called as what? They are not exciting supporting cells of the nervous tissue. Simply it is a supporting cell for the nervous tissue. What kind of support it will do? They do not initiate or conduct a nerve impulse. It will not do any initiation or conduction of nerve impulse from the body. Okay, next, nerve fiber. The nerve fiber are the long slender processes of neuron. A number of nerve fibers are bundled up together to form a nerves. Okay, so the nerve fibers are the long slender process of neurons. Okay, a number of nerve fibers are bundled together form a nerves. That's all. So, structure of neuron, it is very familiar to you children. Actually, a neuron is the structural and functional unit of nervous system, you know very well. This neuron typically consists of three basic parts: cyton, dendrites and axon. See children, you can find the three parts with the help of this diagram. What are the cytons, where the dendrites are present, where the axons are present, all you can see with the help of this diagram. Let's see the structure description of what? Neuron. Okay, first one is cyton. Already I said neuron is divided into three parts: dendrites, cyton and axon. Let's see about the cyton. Cyton, otherwise called as cell body or perikaryon. It has a central nucleus with abundant cytoplasm called neuroplasm. The cyton, which has a big nucleus or abundant nucleus and abundant cytoplasm in it. The cytoplasm has a large granular body called Nissls granule, and the other cell organelles like mitochondria, ribosomes, lysosomes and endoplasmic reticulum also. So, inside the cytoplasm of the neuron, there is a granular structures are seen. These granular structures are called Nissls granules, and the cytoplasm of the axon consists of mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, ribosome, lysosome, like that all. So, then next one is like mitochondria, ribosome, lysosome and endoplasmic reticulum. Neurons do not have the ability to divide. Several neurofibrils are present in the cytoplasm that help in transmission of nerve impulse to and from the cell body. Next, dendrites. These are the numerous branched cytoplasmic process that project from the surface of the cell body. They conduct nerve impulse towards the cyton. The branched projection increase the surface area for receiving the signals from other nerve cells. So, what is dendrites? These are the numerous branched cytoplasmic process that project from the surface of the cell body. So, the cell body surface which possesses many branched cytoplasmic process, these branched cytoplasmic process are called as what? Dendrites. What is the function of dendrites? They conduct nerve impulse towards the cyton. They conduct the nerve impulse towards the cyton. The branched projection increase the surface area for receiving the signal from other nerve cells. What is the functions of branched dendrites? It helps to increase the surface area of receiving signals from other nerve cells. Okay. So, dendrites, it is a numerous branched cytoplasmic process where it is arised from, it project out from the surface of the cyton or cell body. What is the function of this dendrites? They conduct nerve impulse towards the cyton. Why these dendrites are in branched why the dendrites consist of many branches? Because it increase the surface area of receiving the signals from the nerve cells. Next one is axon. So, cyton I discussed with you, axon also I have discussed with you. Next I am going to discuss about the dendrites discussed with you. Next I am going to discuss with you about axon. Okay. So, what is axon? The axon is a single elongated slender projection. The end of axon terminates as a fine branches which terminate into a knob like swellings called a synaptic knob. Okay children, listen to it. So, there are in the cyton, there are many branches. All the branches are further branched into what? All the branches are called tendrons. Okay. That is what a cyton has many short branches. These short branches are called tendrons. Tendrons further divided into dendrites. Okay. So, next one is what? Only one long branch is there in the cyton. This one long elongated branch is called axon. The axon end with what? Terminal branches. The axon end with what? Terminal branches. This terminal branches terminate with a fine knob like structure called what? Synaptic knob. Okay. That's all about general structure. Next, the plasma membrane of axon called what? Axolemma. So, you know children, each and every cell of animal is covered with the plasma membrane, right? Same way, what is the name of membrane which cover the nerve cells. So nerve cell is a cell only, you know very well, right? So nerve cell also a type of cell which is the longest cell in our body also. So what is the name of the plasma membrane which cover the nerve cell? Okay, the plasma membrane which cover the axon is called what? Axolemma, while the cytoplasm is called axoplasm. So then it carries the impulse away from the cyton. What is the function of axon? See children, from the tendron the impulse enter into the cyton. From the cyton it is transmitted to the axon. So the axon transmit the impulse away from the cyton. The axon may be covered by a protective sheath called myelin sheath. So already axon covered by plasma membrane called axolemma. Apart from this, axon is covered by a protective sheath called myelin sheath, which is further covered by a layer of Schwann cells called neurolemma. So already the axon is covered with myelin sheath, and this myelin sheath again covered with a layer of Schwann cells. This layer of Schwann cells is called neurolemma. Myelin sheath break at interval by a depressions called knots of Ranvier. Okay children, when you observe the diagram of diagram of axon, you can find some gap between the myelin sheath. This gap is called what? Knots of Ranvier. This gap is called what? Knots of Ranvier. The region between the knots are called internode. Myelin sheath act as a insulator and ensures rapid transmission of nerve impulse. That's all about what? Axon. So axon, it is a long branches. Axon is a single elongated slender projection. Only a single elongated projection from the cyton is what? Axon. The end of axon terminate as a fine branches. The end of axon is terminate as a fine branches which terminate into a knob called synaptic knob. Okay. Next about each cell is covered by membrane. Like that axon also covered by a membrane which is called axolemma. So each cell has a cytoplasm in it. The cytoplasm in the axon is called what? Axoplasm. It carries impulse away from the cyton. What is the function of axon? Carry the impulse from the cyton or away from the cyton. The axon may be further covered with a sheath called myelin sheath, which is further covered by a cells called Schwann cells called neurolemma. Myelin sheath break at intervals. This break or depressions are called knots of Ranvier. There is a gap between the knots. This is called internode. What is the function of myelin sheath? Act as an insulator and ensure rapid transmission of nerve impulse. Okay, next one is synapses. What does mean by synapse? You know children, nerves are made up of nerve cells. Nerves are made up of nerve cells. Many nerve cells which are present one above the other and also side by side, that is a bundle of nerves, nerve cells or neuron form a nerve. Okay, so there should be a conduction of impulse from one neuron to another neuron in the nerve. Okay, but there is a gap between the two nerve cells. There is a gap between the two nerve cells. The gap between the two nerve cells are called as what? Synapses. Okay, a junction between the synaptic knob of axon of one neuron and a tendron of the next neuron. Imagine that there is subsequent neurons lie one above the another. Okay, so there is you imagine only two neuron alone. Okay, one neuron, it start with what? Dendrites to cyton, cyton to axon, axon to terminal branches. Okay, and there is a gap, and next neuron, it start with the dendrites, cyton, axon, terminal branch, then gap. Next you start third neuron, dendrites, cyton, like that it is going on sequentially. Okay, so there is a gap or there is a junction between the two neurons, that is terminal branches of one neuron and the dendrites of the another neuron. there is a gap, and this gap is called synapse. Okay, a junction between synaptic nerve of axon of one neuron and the dendron of the next neuron is called synaptic junction. Information from one neuron can pass to another neuron through three junctions with the release through these junctions with the release of chemical known as neurotransmitter from the synaptic nerve. See children, there should be a conduction of nerve impulse through this gap, isn't it? So since there is a gap between the two neurons, there should be a carrier to take the impulse from the terminal branch to the dendrites of the next neuron. Okay, then who act as a carrier in this gap? There is a neurotransmitters which are released by the synaptic nerve, which carry the nerve impulse from the terminal branch of one axon to the dendrites of the another axon. Okay, the name of the neurotransmitters is called we can say acetylcholine is an example for neurotransmitter. It is not given in the book. Okay children, so this what a structure of neuron with diagram. It is a book back 5 mark question given structure of neuron with neat label diagram. It's a book back question. Okay children, so children, I will stop today's session with this and I will give homework for you as structure of neuron with diagram. This is the only one question I will give for homework. Okay, so children, next I will meet you in my next session. Okay, bye, take care.